Here we are again. Uh, Welcome back, everyone, to another Sunday chess stream. The last one went pretty well. I don't know how many viewers we're going to get this time, but either way, just to recap, my goal in these streams is to try and get to 1,000 or more ELO in every single time rating on chess.com listed here. So I've already got it on daily. It would be Blitz, Rapid, and Bullet that the other ones I'm going for. Right now, hard focusing on the Rapid rating. Last stream, we had a 7-game winning streak, which ended on this 907 rating. I played a few games here and there throughout the week, tried to see if I could push it up anymore. I ended up losing a few and winning a few more, and evened back out to 900 on Friday. Decided to keep it there to enter this stream at exactly 900. Funny how it works out. I started the last one at exactly 850, and now we're exactly 900. So 100 ELO points left to go. Last stream we made it, like I said, a 7-game win streak. Earned 57 ELO points in an hour and a half, roughly. Not sure if I'll get the same sort of luck this time, but I've been watching back those games and kind of reanalyzing how I did. So hopefully that can help give me a sharper edge on the matches that I am going to be going through today. I don't think anyone's watching the streams right now, but I will just say this to start it out and going forwards. I will not be looking at the comments on these streams. In fact, I think I'm going to just add that comment here. I will not be looking at comments while I'm playing matches. If you have suggestions for moves I could have made, you feel free to put them out there, but I'll be reading them after the match is done. Please list the move number with your suggestions. And send. All right, there we go. So that disclaimer is out there. Hopefully people will be able to read that as they tune into the streams here, but I'm not going to delay any further. We're going to switch over to 10-minute rapid, and I'm going to start up some games. Aiming to go for about 2 hours here, between 5 and 10 games per stream. We'll see how we do. Game number 1 of the day. And I start out, so I'm going to try to go for another accelerated London system. I feel like I should switch it up more in the future, but right now this is an opening I'm very comfortable with. So I'm going to push on it as starting out as white here once again. You brought your queen out rather early. Is there some way that I could, like, respond to that? Yeah, I can take your pawn here. Just a very early, clean pawn take that can disrupt any structural plans you have. You really did not need to put your queen out there. Okay. Next. What if I put the bishop back and threaten the queen? Is there any significance to that? Because I think your idea is to move here and then try to mate like that. No, I think I should just keep developing my pieces at the moment. Yeah, keep going with the London plans. So first I'm going to put a knight here. I can pull this bishop back later if I need to, but right now there's not really a great way for my opponent to attack this bishop, so I'm feeling okay with having it just hang there for now. Maybe I could take that knight and be okay still, but okay, this check is just completely unnecessary. I can just block that so easily. And you, why did you pull it all the way back? Okay, you could have pulled it back. Well, I mean, I guess this square would have been safe, and then you could have castled. I feel like that's what I would have done, but anyway. Is there somehow like a way that I can make an early attack because my opponent hasn't developed much? Like maybe I should take this knight and then bring a bishop out. I mean, you do have this block, but then I can put the queen here to like double defend it. I think I want to try that idea. I want to be a little bit more aggressive just because I feel like my positioning allows it to potentially work out here. So we got rid of the knight. We're going to go for a check with the bishop. Your king could also just move over here. And then I guess, yeah, I'm not sure what my response is there. But right now I'm feeling okay about castling and just leaving the bishop hanging there for now. Nothing's really attacking it. So, gonna keep moving on. Okay. I'm sensing a plan here. Maybe even doubling up more with the knight. But I'm trying to think if this, I mean, this knight here is defending that space. And then I could also bump this up as long as the queen is still there to defend it, or if I pull my bishop back even. I could also put this knight over here. I mean, this is just the full London at this point. With the exception of this bishop being out here. That's a little goofier. But I'm starting to... Oh. Why would you do that? I'm definitely going to trade. Both of my bishops are gone now, so that could be something that hinders me in the future here, but I don't feel like these are bad moves either. Like this is pretty good in principled chess at the moment. Damaging that pawn you were defended. You were defended here. You did not need to move. I'm just going to eat up your other pawn. Okay, now you're pushing up to try and break my pawn structure. What am I thinking about at this point? I mean, I could take and then do like a fork, reinforce with the knight. And then, like, if you take again, I'll just take with the... And then I get sort of a bishop on your end. I don't think I hate that idea. Is there anything that leaves me vulnerable if I do that? I don't think so. Honestly, I want to try and get rid of most of these pieces at this point. Because this side of the board is so wide open for my pawns to advance in the end game if we get there. We're to the point where, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about most of this positioning. This rook could move to try and attack the center or defend this knight. Maybe both at the same time. Is there anything else I could do to try and like push for a mate? I mean, this bishop would have to move somewhere else somehow. for that to really be a realistic idea. You know what? I'm actually seeing something here, which is starting to make me a little nervous. So I think I want to put a rook here to defend this pawn a little further. Okay, now you're trying to go for this mate. I can just easily block that idea. And I think I could even try threatening your queen at the moment with this kind of a move. I could take that knight, but then your queen just strikes in and gives me a check, which I don't like that at the moment. I'd rather try to attack your queen. Even though the rook's being threatened right now, I can move it to safety on the next turn. Because if your queen moves off of this file, and then if I get my rook here, this knight is pinned to this square because of the king that never castled. Alright. Ooh, you did not shift off of that square. Interessant. Instead, you're going here? I'm guessing you just want to take this knight. I mean, that's the only thing I can see being an advantage from a move like that. Take that and then push in further. But if I just move my rook here, kind of blows up that checkmating plan. And in fact, I don't even have to take this with the rook. I can take it with the pawn. And your queen, I mean, I don't like having your queen right here staring me in the face. I gotta be honest about that. But I do have ways to keep defending this position despite your queen being here. And also, if you move this bishop, then I can't take the rook there still, but I can move a rook up here just to defend this file. Get rid of a possible mating idea there. For now, this honestly is kind of a tense game. I'm gonna be honest. What's my plan? I think the best plan now is to try and push this pawn to the end to get it to promote, because that's a pass pawn. And if I can get your rook off of that square somehow to try and like defend it, then that's kind of like game over in a way. You really don't have a great way to attack me unless you get these pawns involved. But moving these pawns first isn't that bad, but if you move this one, this queen can get in there and cause some nasty business for you. Okay, that's where you go. You're just intending to take and then go here, right? So what if you take and then I go here? And then even if you try to mate me there, I have the queen trade. And then we just enter an endgame with a rook and a bunch of pawns. I think I like that idea. I think I like that idea. What do I move in the meantime? Oh, tough one. I think I would love to move this pawn, but that just seems like it's getting rid of a pawn for no reason. And this pawn's defending this pawn from that rook. I'm going to move it up one square. just as a waiting move. I'm running out of time. I can't be spending this much time on my moves right now. But I have an idea here. Okay. I gotta see where this goes. I gotta see where this goes. If you try to do this trade, it's not gonna work out for you. I need to be playing faster, but I got an end game plan that I want to follow through this vision to the end of the game. I don't think I should have let you get this queen as far as it did, but I've been able to respond to the threats pretty well. And I'm feeling okay about my odds here. Especially because now I'm in a position where I can actually check your king and start doing some movement on that front if you try to attack any of my pawns. Oh, okay. I mean, I mean, uh, that does remove the checkmating threat. I mean, this isn't gonna be enough, right? Like, I need more than that to win. So, I'm not ready to give up my queen yet to this. I'm gonna give a check here. I don't really have a better answer to this at the moment. And I guess neither do you. Okay, what's the plan here? Move this pawn up. Try to just break in there a little more. Seems like an alright idea to me. Hey kitty, Feliz. This is so messy. I felt like I had a clear advantage, but maybe getting rid of those bishops early on was just not the play. It really feels like something I'm regretting now. I do see that now from here, I could move my rook up and threaten the queen. Maybe that's what I do next. And then I don't really care about you moving there. Maybe I should care a bit more if you bring your bishop down. But okay, your queen's moving to the side. I'm going to move a pawn up. Just go back to the idea of pushing that pawn up to the end. I don't see any way for you to hugely damage me from this position unless you bring your bishop down. Okay. Then from here, oh, how do I defend this? How do I defend this? Okay, actually, I'm starting to panic. How do I defend this? I don't think I do. I mean, if you go here, I can go back, so that's not mate anymore. But that will be mate. Actually, if my queen moved, that would have been mate. So my queen didn't move. I got less than a minute left. I gotta keep shifting around now at this point. This is a critical part of the game. You should totally take this rook, by the way. That's just your best move at this point. I don't know why you're thinking this long on it. 100% take this rook. 100% take this rook. I don't know what better idea there would be for you. Yeah, okay. I'll take back because I have to at this point. Okay. We're just going to keep moving. I can't really think too much on it or explain the thought process. I just know that, you're probably going to check there. Okay. Queen here is good because it defends that square if I move my pawn up and then up, up. Hopefully I can get something going there. I'll move this pawn up to threaten your queen, push it to move. Yeah, we'll queen trade. And then we're entering a rook and pawns endgame, where I definitely don't have the advantage, but maybe I can still make this work. Okay. We're gonna keep moving. Just keep moving because I only have 25 seconds left. Your king is getting in the way, but I still have a shot to keep moving, keep pushing up. Come on. Ugh. Man, this sucks. And then you're just going to move your rook. Yep. And then I'm just going to lose. Ugh. What was my way out of this? I'm really curious where I flubbed up. I think it really just had to be that I gave up the bishops way too early. Also, time management could have been better. Like, having this kind of a clock setup is not great. I'm not done yet. You still gotta checkmate me, but it's definitely getting real close to a timeout. I'm not feeling great about this. I'm just hoping for stalemate at this point. And you got I saw checkmate. No, wait, that wasn't even checkmate there, but I got stalemate. Okay, that's the best case scenario that I could have hoped for in that game, and it happened. Oh, thank God. I do still lose one elo point off of that draw because my opponent was, I guess, significantly lower rated than me, 878 versus 900. But wow, that was a rough match. That was a rough match. Okay, I'm looking at the comments, and I'm seeing we got one person here who was commenting a lot. Hello, Thakuna. No, take the free pawn. There was a free pawn. No, oh god. Oh, that's one of the worst moves you made. Thank you for all the commentary. I said this at the beginning, and I'll reiterate it now. I'm not looking at the comments during the match, only afterwards. So if you have suggestions on future matches that I play here, please tell me the turn number that that move is happening on, so that I can go back and actually reference it throughout the game. But man, that was I got out of there on the skin of my teeth, dude. That totally should have been a checkmate. Totally, 100%. I feel like if the opponent moved down here, that would have been checkmate, right? Because then, no, I still have this square to go out to. But then, like, you push up there. And like, where do I go from there, right? I think that I just go down here. I don't know. With 44 seconds on the clock, my opponent 100% should have found a way to checkmate me. You're very good for your elo. You have space to improve. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think that I definitely am capable of reaching 1,000. It's just the road to get there, you know? You gotta play one match at a time, and you only get so many points for winning a match. Or even drawing sometimes, you know? I've gotten a point or two off of that. But anyway. Uh, I'm gonna go into game two at this point. This is something that I'm gonna have to look back on later. I really do think that this aggressive play early on wasn't that bad. I had an okay idea here, but losing both of my bishops by turn 11, that did not end up well for me at all. Yeah, I'll just go into game two. Okay, starting as black this time. And they got queen's pawn opening. Okay, I don't really have much of a response to this. So I'm just going to open with d5. Oh, they're going for the London. Checks out. Is there anything I can do to disrupt a London system? I feel like that's something I need to learn. I haven't really encountered too many hard counters to it in my own games playing as white, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Why are you going? Are you going there? Huh. Okay, what do I do about that? Oh god, that was a misclick. I did not actually mean to move the knight there. Wow, okay. I was trying to think through what I could do with my pieces, and now I just ended up getting absolutely forked. So that's just an unfortunate way to start out this game, but it's not over yet. I don't want to take, obviously, but like, where do I go? I guess this was already a bit more insulated, so I don't mind going there. Ugh, God, that's so annoying. I was just trying to think through. And there's no reason to move the knight there at all. Why is my opponent taking this long to think about taking the rook? Okay. What? I think they might have been just as confused as I was for a moment, and I do not blame them. I have to move the bishop out here. That's just... There's no other option. Threaten that knight on both sides. Okay, and you just move the knight right back to where it was. This pawn move up to here. I mean, it looks alright until I trade off the pawns. I can't move my other knight anywhere though, and I guess this is the move. To just create some minor pawn structure and to get my knight and bishop out of here. I just need to get all my other pieces out. I don't have any other plan. God, such a rough start to the game. Okay. That's fine. We'll trade bishops. At this point, I just need to get material to make up for any kind of deficit. That was a blunder, because I can go here. No, because that's defended. Your bishop's defending that, so I can't take the knight. But I could take that pawn that doesn't really do much for me. Because if you move this forward, okay. This is an annoying position. Okay. Okay, here's my idea. I'm gonna move queen here and try to do some sort of queen threat. Just just out of desperation, more than anything else. Okay. I'm fine. I'm fine with that. We'll queen trade. And now you decide, okay, you take that knight, and I get to keep a bishop. And now I need to save this bishop. Where do I put it? Um we're gonna put it here. Okay. Get my knight out. This bishop has a clear diagonal escape this way if I need to with the rook coming here. Yep. We're gonna move bishop back here. Most of your pieces are still just hanging out here. Yeah, I should have anticipated that move. That's fair enough. But at this point, I can't. I can't. Okay. At this point, I think I just need to trade a bunch of pieces, or maybe focus on taking out these pawns. Because if we... Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna focus on trying to target these pawns in the back. Because I think... That's fine. I just want to stop an idea of like these pawns advancing forward. They are past pawns. There's nothing else to block them except for my major pieces. And I guess the king if I somehow get it out there, but that's like a dream right now. That's a fever dream is what that is. Okay. Threaten? Do I threaten the knight? Then it goes like here, and then I move my bishop somewhere. Or I move this pawn up here first, because I don't think you're going to take right away. But you win after these trades anyway, and then you push on my king. I'm gonna have to go for the premature threat. Shit. And then you're probably gonna go here. Yep. And then what? I need to get this bishop to safety, so I'm gonna move it here. The knight can't fork it because this rook's in the way. You just blundered your bishop, or your knight, I mean. Okay, cool. I'll take it because I blundered earlier, so I need to make up any way I can. This is an awkward position, though, with the pawns in the center. I mean, it's blockading any advancement ideas you have, but at the same time, I need something more actionable. Okay. We're going to go up with the pawns on this side, because, I mean, what else am I going to do at this point? I don't really care about trying to attack that. I just don't want this open file for sure. And now we're going to get a really rigid pawn position. And now it's up to you to decide if you want to break it or not. And at this point, I'm just playing pure defense. Okay, that's your idea. You want to defend these pawns up. Smart. Smart. Oh god. I need to just do a waiting move at this point. So we're gonna move down. I don't see that being bad for any reason. It's literally just to kill time and, you know, keep the momentum on your end as far as like what you want to keep pushing. Okay. Shoot. Now I'm gonna go here and threaten the rook. Let's get this rook moving somewhere. Even if it's just okay. We'll take the rook. Get the rook out of here. And then if your knight moves, I can break through. Or just take the knight. I don't know which one's better at this point. Okay. You really want to hang on to those pawns. That makes sense. But now I can go. I don't want to move my knight here, though. Even though it does double threat, it does also mean that this bishop could strike down and, like, X-ray attack this bishop alongside the knight that's still here. I don't like that. I'm going to move here with my rook. Because now this is double attacked if you move this pawn forward. And if you keep pushing this pawn, I mean, I could just go back here with my rook. Maybe. God. Okay. I mean, I'll take your knight. I'm not really sure what the idea was there. Maybe just get this attacker out of the way? But I don't think that benefits you in the long run. We will be entering an endgame because it's my only chance, but I think at this point I need to try and make faster decisions. Because if we go to an endgame, it might just end up being like last game where I'm fighting against the clock more than anything else. I don't want to end up in that position again. This also does free up the idea of knight to c6 now. Because even, I mean, your bishop could go here now, and it wouldn't be X-ray attacking. Oh wait, your bishop, even if it goes there, okay, can't think too long on this. We're gonna go knight. What am I gonna do? We're gonna go knight down here. Because if this pawn advances, I can block it. And if that pawn advances, I'll just sacrifice the knight to get rid of that pawn. And now there's no more pawn threats on this side of the board. Thank God. Now it's up to you to figure out what you want to do with your bishop and rook to try and get out of this. And it's up to me to figure out how to punch through everything. Oh, that is a blunder, I think. You could still defend like this, that's true. But if you don't, then I win that rook. And I also just lock down your bishop in any case. We're going to move this pawn up to take the place of the bishop in defending these pawns. And I think I'm going to... My next idea... Okay. I'm just going to check you again. I don't care. I'm just going to do it. And now I'm going to get this bishop involved a little bit more. I'm guessing your knight's going to... Or your king's going to move to try and attack the rook. But I still have plenty of space to escape on this file. Oh, okay. No, interesting. Interesting. Okay. How do I respond? Is there any immediate danger with the rook that I should be concerned about? Not really. Maybe just like maybe trying to go after this pawn, because these pawns are the weakest right now. Okay. You're just gonna give a check and do it again. Okay. Oh, well, if I check your king, maybe we can keep moving somewhere on this. Maybe not, because you could just threaten to take the rook. No, you don't. Okay, we'll trade bishops, and then it's down to rooks versus pawns for an endgame. And I'll just try to figure out how to win from this position. That's really all I can do now. This pawn needs to go. That much I know. Or somehow I find a way to break through here and have it work out for me. Like here? Okay, you're just trying anything at this point. Okay, we're gonna move up this pawn. I feel like I don't have much other choice. You're probably gonna take like that and then start to push it down. Oh, you don't? Oh, okay. Okay. I'm gonna move rook here and try to push this pawn up. I think I might have just found a way to win this endgame. Hold on. That would be so clutch. This would be so clutch if true. It's so close. It's so close. But it's not quite there. God damn it. Okay. I need to get my own king involved in this mess. You're probably just going to try pushing that pawn down, aren't you? Yep. Okay. God. How do I win this? Is there a way to win this? No. Check you again? Maybe? Then you're just gonna promote. Shit. No, you don't promote. Okay, maybe I can stalemate this again. I'm okay with another stalemate. Oh, God. No, you see it. And now you're probably gonna win. You have, like, complete control at this point. Okay. Not much else I can do. Again, I'm just hoping for a stalemate at this point, but it's probably not going to happen. You could just ladder mate me at this point. Go here and that's mate. That's it. No, you stalemate again! Oh. Oh. No. These people know, they need to know how to mate. They need to. Oh, oh, oh man. Oh, I don't have any other words for that mess. That was, I mean, honestly, from the moment that I made that early night blunder, that the stalemate was the best I could hope for, I think. Oh, okay, okay. Wow. Wow. Let's look at this one. It's aight, man. Everyone makes misclicks. Thank you very much, but it's still very annoying. Very annoying. Very easy to counter. Okay, what is that in reference to the whole London system or in reference to like this move in general? I want to look back at this real quick. From this position, if I didn't misclick, what is the best way to fight against this idea? I think I think the only good move here is to move the rook over here. Maybe? No, because then you just fork like that, right? So that's not the way out. Is there a good way out of here, or is this something that I should have seen coming a move earlier? Like when you bring the knight out here, should I be anticipating a setup like this and make a preemptive move like pawn to a6 to fight against it? Because I really don't see a good way to defend against it with this kind of positioning. I think this is something I might have needed to just know as a trap beforehand. And I've run into this trap multiple times in the past. I just didn't see it on this particular instance again. So that might just be something I have to improve on going into future games. I don't know. That feels like the best answer to me at the moment. Should have blocked the pawn. It's called the fried liver. Search it up. Okay. And want to play a game? I appreciate the offer, but I've done a stream in the past where I was playing a bunch of people that requested to play during the stream, and I feel like playing people who are watching me gives a level of advantage to the people that are watching. I don't think these streams are any kind of significant delay. I could probably set it up to be, but if you want, you can search me up on chess.com here, Nifty Nick V, and challenge me to games later in the future, but not right now during stream. Thanks for the offer though, and thanks for the advice here that you've been given. Okay, I'm fried liver attack. We're gonna look at this real quick. We're gonna look at this real quick. So yeah, this aggressive move targets the vulnerable f7 square. The pawn has to come forward. Like that. That makes sense. Okay. Because now, I mean, if you do that, I have defenses set up to push against it. This misclick really prevented me from being able to think through my options and just set me into like a panic mode for the rest of the game. The knight comes here. The true fried liver attack move. Oh, queen comes out. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, that's such a deadly kind of attack. Okay. I'm gonna keep an eye out on that kind of stuff in the future. This was a good learning learning match for sure. For both me and clearly the opponent who didn't know how to checkmate me at the end. So, you know. All right, game 3. We're gonna keep it moving. I'm gonna start with e4 this time. I don't have any great e4 opening ideas other than bishop's opener, which isn't going to be happening here. We get the Scandinavian defense. And I think I'm going to follow this up by pushing this pawn up. Okay. And then, yeah, queens see each other and we can trade queens if you want. That's fine with me. Removes early castling rights, but I don't think it's the end of the world. Just going to try to keep center control. We're going to move another bishop out here to reinforce that idea. Okay. That's annoying, but not detrimental. Bro, I mean, sure, if you want to trade like that. This is a very aggressive player. I wish I could castle now. That actually is a bummer, but game's still going. Plenty of game left to go. I'm predicting... Oh, I thought you were going to castle. But either way, this rook being here makes sense. Now your knight can just move and put pressure on me. My counter is to move this knight here. Double knight defense to reinforce that. And I think I want to try pushing this pawn up and doing like a faux castle kind of position. It's going to take me a couple of moves. This isn't the greatest start, but it's not end of the world either. I mean, what's stopping me from like doing a move like this to threaten your rook that you want to move out here? If there is something stopping me, I'd like to learn. Okay, cool. Now we got to save the bishop. We're going to move the bishop here to save it. And this move still exists, but okay, you don't take it because you're too focused on trying to take out the knight. I'm going to move my knight down here. It's defended. Creates a little attack on that square, which I will take now because... Well, will I? Because now you could just move your knight again and then do that check threat that you were thinking of. What is the worst case scenario with that check threat, though? Especially if I do move the knight here. Because now your rook's just under attack if you move the knight. Yeah, I just take your rook. Although maybe... no, there wasn't a way to do a different order of operation. I was just seeing like if I could somehow take this knight while the king was blocking the bishop, but now this trade isn't really possible. Surprisingly, I'm up in material at this point in the game. That's... I'll take it. Big W. But now I need to get my king out of the center, even if it's just here for the moment. It doesn't need to be a big flashy move. I just need to move. I don't know what that was going for. You just blundered your knight. And now I'm going to pin your bishop. And now I'm going to take this pawn. Okay, that's not ideal. If I move my bishop, your rook can, take back. If I check your king first, then I can defend that pawn. Is it important to defend the pawn more than it is to keep this bishop in the game? I don't think so. So just weighing it off of that, I'm going to move the bishop to protect it, or, keep it alive. And I don't really care if you take this pawn. That's just what I'm settling on at this point. You don't have many great ideas to attack. You could do something like this, I suppose, but right now I just need to keep pushing forward with my own kind of attacking ideas. Moving these pawns up is definitely the big play at the moment. This knight, is it of any significant consequence? I don't think so. Like, the squares you'd have to get to for it to check me don't really feel like possible squares for you to move to at the moment. Why are you moving your rook up there? What the hell? This opponent's just confusing me. If you take with knight, I'll take with oh, okay. Okay, that makes a bit more sense now. Yeah, I'll do bishop trade at this point. And then that's your idea, I'm guessing. But at this point, really don't care. Oh, you forked my rooks. That's annoying. Nah, well. Take whichever rook you want. At this point, you earned it. And then we'll enter into a knight rook versus rook and pawns endgame. Okay. So these pawns are blocking each other from progress. That I'll just protect. Like, frankly, there's no other no other idea there to do. Okay. Oh, well, now I could check and fork for your pawn. I feel like that's an alright move. Yeah, take the pawn. And now what are you gonna do? Clearly you want to remove that, yeah. So now I'll just move my rook up here. Defend it. Okay, that is a little scary, but not the end of the world either. I mean, I could just move here and have it be defended. I think you're trying to get up to help this pawn move. This pawn is still what I'm most afraid of at the moment. So I'm going to move up here. That's annoying. But, shit. Do I move back to defend it? Do I move up to push against this? I think I move back. Okay, now I can check you. Get rid of this pawn that's been bothering me. Or maybe I get rid of this pawn. No, I should take out the one that's closer. And then this pawn won't be directly in danger because you have to focus on the king. This is a scary weakened position, but also not the end of the world. I mean, if you take these two pawns, at that point, my plan just becomes, you know, route around to that pawn. So I wasn't expecting that move. I gotta be fair to that. So having the king take here is actually pretty smart. But now I'm just gonna push that pawn up. Bro. Are you gonna take that pawn now? Yeah, okay, that's fine. I'll just move here. I got the advantage on this endgame. I'm not gonna let it go. Why don't I fork between your rook and your pawn? Why don't I move here between pawns? I mean, everything else is defended, and I'm attacking there. Like, this is still a winning position for me. For sure, a winning position. Because, yeah, I'll just take this pawn now. Move that up. Move that up. You're not getting in here. You're not getting in here. How much do I need to say it that you're not getting in here before you believe me? Maybe that was a blunder. But I could just move here. And then maybe I go to this side instead. Okay. And now what? Why don't I just push my king up here? Because even if you take this... Okay. You should have taken my pawn, but you didn't. All right, what's your big plan now, dude? Run away? just flee? Straight up go somewhere else? All right, cool. There's nothing that you can do to stop this pawn from promoting now. Literally nothing. Like I have everything in control here. So I'm just gonna promote that, take, and now I'm gonna try to checkmate you. I don't confidently know how to checkmate an opponent with just a king, rook, and knight. So I'm going to have to learn fast. That is my disadvantage here. But I think I'm starting to see a way to do it. Because I can try to box you in further. Like, maybe I don't even need... Well, no, the knight definitely is necessary. Because now you're boxed in even more. Eh. I just need to make more moves here. We're gonna go this way. Because you can't approach the rook like that. Go down. Okay. We'll go down here. And then... Ah, shit. Knight to here. Rook down. King down. Oh, no, that was that. I forgot the rook wasn't defended. Okay. Nah, fair enough. Fair enough. You know, last stream we had 7 wins in a row, and now we've got 3 stalemates in a row. 2 caused by my opponent and 1 caused by me. So, you know, maybe there's a different kind of learning lesson on my journey to 1000 elo in this stream. I don't think I've had a streak of stalemates this long. I'm going to be honest. This is definitely... Oh, hey, thank you for the requests, y'all. Again, I'm not going to be challenging anyone to a stream game, but if you want to challenge me to like daily matches or whatever, feel free. Or, you know, in the future, if you see me online playing, yeah, feel free to challenge me. How do I win a rook and knight endgame, bro? I was trying to avoid that by getting the pawn to promote earlier. And I felt like I had a pretty good grasp on how to do it. Was there anything I could have done here differently? Like maybe push against the king a little earlier? No. I don't know. This rook feels like it could have found ways to just not get taken before promotion. And it really was up to me to just try and figure out a way to get the stalemate or get the checkmate. You know what? I'm going to look at the comments on this real quick before consulting the computer about it. Can I play against you? Thanks for the request, but no, I'm not going to play against people on stream. You can play against me when I'm not streaming. Oh, hi there, chess user. I'm not going to take this challenge because I feel like that people have an advantage when they're playing against me while I'm streaming because they have access to my thoughts. And I mean, I'm not, when I'm playing chess in real life, I'm not going to be detailing my thoughts out like this. So thanks for the interest, y'all, but purely here just to like play and have feedback on my games instead of playing against people who are watching. Yo, bro, do you play other games? I do. I play Slay the Spire quite a bit. Roguelike games in general, like Balatro. I don't stream those as much. I mean, I did one Slay the Spire string before. I also upload... if you look at the rest of my YouTube channel, there's a whole bunch of other clips from games that I played over the last like 4 or 5 years. Some are more edited than others, but yeah, I'm a big gamer. It's just that lately I've been getting into chess a lot more. Like over the last 2 years, I'll just deviate this quick. I did this in the last stream. I've been playing since July 9th, 2024, and I have a 458-day streak where I've logged in and played a game of chess or made a move in a daily game for literally like a year and a half straight. So I've been doing this for quite a bit now, seriously, and I just figured I'd turn it into streamed content. No, sorry. Maybe in the future. On Lichess, you can practice checkmating with your rook and king in the learning tab. Thank you for that shout. I actually do have a Lichess account, and I like how that website is set up more for learning. Like all the learning content on chess.com is like hidden behind paywalls unless you are content with just doing one thing a day. So, you don't even need the knight. Yeah, I know there is a way to get rook and king checkmate, but I wanted to try and incorporate the knight since I had it. Maybe I should just get more confident on rook and king endgame as well. There was a tactic a few moves ago. Could have taken his rook for free. Um, Again, if you guys are going to point out stuff like this, I'd really appreciate like specifically what move I'm on when you're making these comments so that I can go back and more easily reference what you're talking about here, because otherwise it's not I'm gonna struggle. How long you been 900? I started playing more last couple weeks, 900 now. Literally been 900 for a week. Just 1 week. Last stream I did last week, I managed to get up to 900 from 7 wins in a row. Like Roblox or what? I do play some Roblox, not as much nowadays. I don't like where the site's heading. I also do Minecraft, but not like traditional Minecraft. Um, I'm gonna plug this real quick because why not? I play Minecraft game shows. There is a season I appeared on recently called Tierra del Fuego, and my intro shot for this is really cool. There I am. So that's the kind of stuff I do in my free time, apart from chess when I'm gaming. I'm trying to get to like 1500 to 2K. We'll see how long it takes. Dude, it's gonna take so long. It's gonna take so long. But I have faith that anyone who tries hard enough can make it to those kind of gold marks. I'm personally hoping that one day I could become a titled player. Even if that's just candidate master, I don't even have to be FIDE or grandmaster or whatever. Um, you have like 5 minute delay. No, I'm just catching up on the comments this slow. I'm gonna be real. I thought you were watching chat. No. I'm not looking at chat during my games at all. I'm glad that you guys are leaving comments and feedback. But it is live time, and I'm just ignoring the chats until after the game. Mr. Last Nameson back at it again. Hello, Chris. Welcome to the stream. Glad you're tuning in. Chris is a very good friend of mine. Check him out, y'all. For everyone who's tuning in now, or whatever, we took a little break. We are 3 games into this stream. I usually try to aim for 5 to 10 games whenever I'm sitting down and doing a session. We have 3 stalemates so far, and I am going into game number 4 praying that we do not get another stalemate. I'll even take a loss, to be fair. Like, I just don't want another stalemate. Oh, thank God. Caro-Kann Defense, my beloved. We get to play it. Love me a Caro-Kann. This is my favorite opener. I'm just so comfortable and familiar with how it plays. We're gonna take the knight. Okay, that's fine. We will move this bishop up here. Actually, maybe I should have threatened the... No, because then you could just do like an easy defense against it. But now it's going to be hard for this bishop to get out. I'm going to move this pawn up to threaten the bishop. And then move this pawn up 1 or 2. Probably just 1. So that we can get this bishop out of here. Yeah. I want to keep it ambiguous as to which side I'm castling to with the Caro-Kann. It's just part of my strategy, the way I play it. This pin does happen quite a bit, but I feel like most opponents don't take action against this pin because they don't want to lose their bishop early on. It's just there to kind of create that tension. Okay, let's think. We're going to move this pawn or knight up here, defend this bishop again, because I can see that this is trying to remove a defender. Okay, let's see. Okay, and then we'll just take with the knight. I think that's fine, yeah, especially because you didn't take there. I'm just gonna threaten that knight. Should I? No, because then that removes the defender on the bishop. Maybe I should save my bishop then, go here. Maybe here. Maybe maybe threaten. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move this bishop. Oh, but I could, but then I'm gonna move my bishop here. Okay, screw it. I gotta do something with it. This does leave the bishop undefended for the moment, but I think a move like this can help solve that. Or even if I just go down here and do a bishop trade, get the queen involved in there, I don't think that's a bad idea either. At this point in the game, I can still castle this way. We're going down. We're going to take down this position, completely rip it apart. Please take my bishop. Let's get this fireworks show going. Get some trades in here. I could also castle this way. Maybe I prefer that. But anyway. Your knight doesn't have to take here either. I would like it to, but it really doesn't have to. You could move that knight like here, for example, and probably be fine. In that case, do I trade knights off? Leave this pawn exposed if I were to castle that way. And then I just kind of push myself this way more with the castling. Okay, you bring your queen in. That's an interesting move. All right, what is my goal with this kind of positioning now? I would like to get rid of this pawn to push up. Even if this queen's not here, that would be a check on the king to move it back here. And then if I take control of this diagonal, that's checkmate. So I think that's my goal at the moment. But I do need to get my king off the center square first before I try any sort of shenanigans with removing that pawn. This knight's also going to be an issue. This knight's going to be an issue. That square isn't easy to take. It's going to be a bit of a battle to get there, but I think that's the vision I have right now, and I am willing to invest resources and planning into that move. So let's see how this turns out. And my plan might completely reshift as we're going along. my my plan might completely reshift as we're going along here. Uh, what? Why? Why did you do that? Okay, okay. Focus, focus. What is next? What do I need to do next? Take control of that diagonal, like I was saying earlier. First I want to move this pawn up because, I mean, I see like a world in which you can like take that pawn. What was I worried about? Maybe I should have thought about that a bit more. This isn't a terrible pawn structure. Okay. We're gonna move the queen up here. And maybe you'll go down like this to just try to push me out. But I think having this diagonal with the queen is okay. You're moving there. Interesting. What? Is there like a threat here that I'm not seeing? I mean, I guess this pawn's exposed. I don't really see too much nasty stuff here yet. Like, you could threaten here and then I lose a rook over that. I don't think that's a huge deal with me being up 6 material. It equalizes things, but no, maybe I should be more concerned about that. Let's think. I still want to go for this. I still really want to go for that. I'm going to go for that. Because this pawn being here now helps support that idea more. Even if this rook's here, I'm not that scared of it. Maybe I should be, but I mean, I could try to free up my own rook more. Like, maybe there's an idea where I move my queen here, rook, take. No, I don't think that works out either. Maybe I should have thought on that more, but it seems like my opponent's also not sure what to do in this position. I think they were just trying to get these knights in the center because that's like a good principle of chess, and having a knight, especially on this rank, is not good for me. It's getting in the checkmate range, but there's no support with these knights. The only thing they support is each other right now, and not in any like significantly dangerous way. The biggest thing is this rook, right? Like, they could take this rook from me by trying to threaten the queen. And even then, I don't have to respond with a queen, with the queen staying here. I could take the queen somewhere else. I guess the only thing I'm worried about there is the pawn being taken by one of these knights if I don't take a knight down here. That feels so high level, though. I'm not sure if this opponent's even spotting anything like that at all. I think the opponent is more concerned about this diagonal I just took and what I'm planning to do with it, right? I think that's where their head's at. So, I mean, they also have this move, which is also at this point really, because I can't go here with my queen, and then you could take that pawn. I think that's also a, but wait, if they do that, then that's also en passant. So they wouldn't just shoot up with the pawn. I mean, they could go here with it and then trade, but they can't shoot up with it at this point. I'm mostly just yabbing to try and fill the air while my opponent takes this long to think of their move. But I mean, what else am I going to do? Thinking on their time is probably the most valuable thing I can do right now in the game. They're not like they're not abandoning the game. I'm glad for that too. That like they're legitimately thinking on this, but now I'm pushing a time advantage. So if we go down into an end game, I just have that much more working in my favor too. I'm really curious if, with them thinking on it for this long, if they will spot this move with the knight. Um, I don't think they will. Maybe they'll surprise me. Yeah, it's just a waiting game at this point. Where do I move forward from here? Like, let's say they don't take this move at all. What is my next best plan forward? Like trying to threaten that, but then that could encourage that move more. I can't really move the rook to this file. Maybe I just try pushing up these pawns. Maybe I push up one of these pawns to break into this side of the board more. Also give my king like an escape square if needed. You don't have any diagonal pieces that could like take advantage of this being open. You lost your queen and both bishops. Your knights could defend this square hypothetically, but you'd have to be where my queen is standing, and that's not going to be an easy job right now. I mean, my opponent wouldn't just be trying to stall for time, right? I've had it happen one time before, very early on. I think it was like 500 level, where an opponent straight up just did not make a move, hoping that I would abandon the game or get bored and resign or whatever. Um, and during that whole time, I was seeing one move that was stopping them from a checkmate attack I had. They did not spend enough. They were clearly just bitter about it, because I messaged them in the chat like, I respect the amount of time you're taking, but you gotta make a move. And they were like, wow, this guy's so naive, doesn't know what I'm doing. Like intentionally winding down the clock. I don't think that's a very fun strategy at all in chess. Like, why are you going to commit to a 10-minute match and then not play for half of it when you feel like you're in a losing position? And so that I'm really hoping that's not what's happening here too. But maybe it is. And I'll sit here and wait. I'll yab. I don't care. It's a streamed game. It might not be the most entertaining thing, but I mean, I'm here to win. I'm here to get to 1000 elo. I've had 3 stalemates in a row. If you want to time out and give me the win like this, that I will take it. I don't care. You're not doing anything. You hit the buzzer and you're still not doing anything. Make a move, please. This is not how I wanted this game to end at all. I feel like my opponent definitely had plays they could have still done. They just chose not to play anymore. That's heartbreaking, honestly. Ugh. Nope, 15 seconds left on the clock. That's going to be it. Yeah, I mean, I'll even just start poking around at the comments early because bro was wondering what to do on a stalled game and still won't interact with chess chat. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I just I don't want to go in here and like preemptively, I don't know. Maybe I should have looked at chat earlier, but whatever. We're done. The game's done. I won. 1,000 elo is the goal for so many people. Good luck. Thank you. 1K seems easy. Got 900 in like 2 weeks from 500. 15 to 2K, you need some decent knowledge though. I mean, 1K is definitely not easy. It does help if you have like a sense of the strategy and stuff beforehand. And some people can grasp it a little easier, but it's not an easy benchmark. A lot of people start very low elo and have to work their way up. Who's your favorite chess player? I guess I don't know enough chess players yet to like say who's a favorite in a meaningful way. Obviously I watch Gotham Chess a lot. The internet's teacher, so I guess that's a chess player I definitely look up to in a lot of ways and have been learning from. I don't know if that makes him my favorite though. Oh, you know who my favorite chess player is? Jinxie. Jinxie, the winner of PogChamps 7. This guy's the GOAT. 300 elo legend. Gonna become stream master of the game one day. Okay. No, but seriously, I guess I don't know chess players enough to give you an honest answer other than Gotham Chess. 1K seems like just develop your pieces with any reasonable opening plus don't blunder. Sure, I agree with that on some level, but I think you also need to understand tactics of the game and like some early traps that other players can put against you. Um, it does take a while to learn, especially if you're not like I can understand if you're in your teens or college aged and you have like a lot of time on your hands to like dedicate to studying this stuff. I'm a 26-year-old adult with a full-time job. um, I appreciate the time I can use to study the game, but it's not like something that I'm going to be learning at an incredible pace. So sometimes I have to relearn the same lessons over and over again because it's just I don't pick up on I don't retain some of the lessons that I learn. Anyway, that's the first win of the match, the stream. I'm gonna do game 5 here. I'll see how I'm feeling after this game. Um, I'm gonna go with a bird opening. Wow, they just immediately responded with okay. I'm not entirely sure how a bird's opening is supposed to play out, but I like catching opponents off guard with it. I recently played in a daily tournament that was all about the birds opening, and I did all right in that one. Um, but maybe I should have a bit more of a focus on what to do here. Let's see. Uh, okay. Yeah, that's not great, but maybe I can still spin something in my favor here. Let's put my knight. Let's put this knight up here. Why not? Get the queen to take, and then I can castle. Early castling, gotta love it. I lost a bishop already, which I usually like keeping bishops more, but we're just gonna keep rolling with what we got here. I'll move pawn up here. My idea is to get a queen threat going, and I don't want the queen to just be able to shoot down here and have safety. Okay, I can go for the queen threat. Get the queen off of this square. If you don't move down here, now I can fork and take your rook. I think you'll see it. No, you don't, actually. Okay, cool. I'll take your rook then. Good early tactic. Good early tactic. There we go. And now I have another potential fork if you're not careful. Here's another fork. Why not? Oh, wait a minute. I got excited. All right, just blunder tonight, but I don't think it's the worst thing. I still won over a rook. I'm up in material. Feeling all right about that. Um okay. Uh what's the plan? I need to get the rest of my pieces out. Okay. I mean I could do knight to here and see where else your king goes, but I feel like that's a bit reckless at the moment. I do want to get this bishop out, like ideally into here, but that's not going to be happening unless I move my pawn up one further. Let's see, because now I could do this a bit more feasibly. That's a rough move there. It takes away that knight opportunity, but I'm still going to check you here. And we're going to check again. Okay. Retreating back here. If they moved up here, then I would have just taken that bishop. I mean, they've missed a fork before, so it's always worth trying. We're going to move this rook into the center of the board. A lot of your pieces haven't been able to come out in effective ways yet, so that's good. That is an annoying move against my bishop. Not the end of the world. Not great either. Is there any way that I can like move? Nah. I'm thinking. Do I want to move my bishop here? I mean, that's a good diagonal to try and get out from. Or do I just trade the bishops? No, I shouldn't trade the bishops. I'll move my bishop here and try to escape on this diagonal somehow. Maybe even threaten this if I can. I mean, this queen's here, but maybe that's an idea to do in the near future. But this pawn move does just break away all those ideas. Because that's defended twice. And then you can push an attack. Oh, okay. No, you let my queen escape. Or my bishop escape. I'm gonna move the bishop down here. I mean, maybe I could have been a bit more proactive with that, moving a pawn up instead. But I think this is all right at the moment. That move especially is all right for me because now I can move my knight back into the center of the board. That pawn was stopping me from doing that earlier, but now it's freed up. And now I actually have a really nasty fork if they don't see it coming. They might not see this fork. They might not. It's you never know. I mean, they missed one fork already. They could miss a second. Okay, they do not miss that fork. Although they did let go of this pawn. I mean, I just take it, right? I don't see any reason to not take it. Feels pretty safe to me. I mean, this knight's also just double defended, so there's no way that your queen's actually taking that. Okay. Move up here to take this pawn and threaten the rook. Feels like an okay idea to me. That does also potentially weaken this pawn structure. But I have this rook defending that square, so then that pawn could come up here. Yeah, I'll take this pawn. Just keep jumping around a bit. Okay. I was looking at the board and I was looking at that knight, wondering like if it would become relevant, and it has. Obviously, I'm not going to take that rook in exchange for my queen. So I need to move the queen somewhere else. And I mean, I think this is looking like the best move for it. Just bring it back down onto this square, control. Well, then you could move your rook here. Yeah, that's what you do. It's starting to fall apart, but it's not over yet either. Save the queen. If you double up here, you can just move this pawn forwards to defend. Okay, that bishop moves to threaten me. What do I do? Because I can't go here or here or here. And if I take, that's not ideal. I can't go here. I could go here, but then you just open that back up. But I think it's the one option I have right now, which is annoying. It's literally the only option that saves my queen. They're definitely starting to win some tempo over me on this position, but I don't know if they're creating any legitimate threats that I should be worried about yet either. It feels like the game is still manageable for me in this kind of position. I just need to figure out what the hell I'm doing. Like long term, what am I doing? I could move the queen here and just do a queen trade if you go like that. I don't think that's a bad idea at this stage of the game, where I'm really just trying to find ways to like punch through, and I'm already up 6 points of material, so like I'd say this is worth it. Threaten that bishop, take out the queen if you trade. Straight up just threatening your queen too. I mean, you can trade back as that idea as well, but okay, you move your queen to this square. Obviously, you're threatening checkmate. You move your bishop back to block. I can fork your queen and rook. I think that's the move here. Right? Like there's no real downside to it. Okay. Yeah, just take the bishop or the rook. And then I'm going to push up this pawn. And we'll see what you do from here. I'm guessing this bishop's going to come up. Yep. Called it. We're just going to move the queen up one space. Like, you don't have a legitimate checkmating idea against me. You have ways to bully my queen around, but you don't have anything that really strikes at me beyond that. Like, I was seeing this move, but even then the pawn takes and opens up the rook file for me. Especially if I do like a bishop trade off to get that out there. This bishop is still something to be worried about. But I think I could win this. I just need to make sure that I don't run out of time again, or run low on it, rather. Um, if I can get to the end game with a bit more time than my opponent, then I'll be happy. Okay, interesting move. I'm going to move... I mean, should I move this pawn up to threaten that bishop? What happens there? I can move here. Okay, we are going to move that pawn up to threaten the bishop, because I think this is still an okay position. Yep, okay. Now I'll move my queen here. Lock down that bishop. If you move the knight to threaten something else, that actually could be a little disastrous, because that opens up... Like, if you move the knight here, and then I have a threat against the queen, that's actually scary. I think I should have considered that a bit more, removing that defender from the pawn. You don't see it. Okay, good. You did not see that move. And you know what? I'm fine with that. We're going to keep rolling. I think I do want to add my king up here just to defend that weak space that I saw. I'm going to do it. Just in case that position somehow comes back in the future, I want to make sure that I'm on top of it. But after that, I'm looking at an offensive idea like pawn up here to break through this line, get my rooks involved in the game because they're just on this back rank doing nothing. I need to push them out, one to the flank, and probably one stays in the center. I'm actually going to move rook to this flank first. Okay, cool. Now we got this position. And I think my queen's actually trapped now. I didn't consider that enough. Shit. Yeah, my queen's actually just trapped. Okay, in lieu of the queen being trapped, what is the next best move? Pawn push? I think that's an okay move. And now I take the bishop. I mean, I know that you got something like this, but honestly, I think it's still okay. I'm up 2 points of material. This pawn's defended, and your king's kind of forced to stay there to keep it that way. Now I'm going to go on the offensive on this side. We're going to start opening up these pawns. And I'm going to need this rook to help me defend it. I'm not... Why? Why? That was just a straight up blunder on your part. Did you forget that the queen could be taken by the pawn? All right. All right, we're moving up places now. This is opening up for me pretty wide. I think the lack of time on their side, they were just trying to make moves faster and just blundered. So now I'm gonna push this momentum. I'm gonna start taking more pieces and hopefully win this end game. If not on time, then through a legitimate checkmate. Um, yeah. I mean, I can see that you're trying to check me here. Might as well just trade off the bishops at this point. Like I'm still completely winning this endgame. Yeah, let's go. Put rook up here onto 6th rank and push this pawn up. We're gonna push the king up. I don't care. Okay, we're gonna push the king down, I guess. Push this king back up. You can take that at this point. I don't mind. We're gonna defend. We're gonna get another rook on this side. And I'm gonna push my king up to support the other pawns as they try to promote. Alright, you cannot stop this pawn from promoting now. I guess you can, actually. Maybe I can checkmate from here, though? Oh, wait, that's just a blunder. I'm running out of... I could have taken more time to think that through, honestly. That was just... I kept forgetting this bishop was here when I really didn't need to. Alright, timeout. I mean, I could have played that a little bit smarter and definitely gotten a cleaner win out of it, but that's going to be a nice timeout win. I'm okay with that. All right. Lol, he totally had you before the backed out knight from e4. He just needed the queen check on you on c6, c6, and then it falls apart from there. Before the backed out knight from e4, let's see. Here? Or no, when the queen was still there. Right? Because you mentioned the queen. Also, sorry I'm not playing live matches on... Whoa, what? Wait a minute. You kidding me? Nah, dude, I'm trying to get to 1,000. You're trying to get to 2,000. Even if I was accepting like rematch requests on this stream, I'm not gonna be playing this big of a skill gap. I'm like half your elo. Thank you for the interest and thanks for watching the stream. I'm not accepting matches on the stream right now, though. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, so e4. I think here is where you're talking about. Yeah, you totally had me here. Okay, so you can scroll moves with keyboard arrows, by the way. Oh, that's actually... Oh, that's cool to know. Yo, we're speed running the whole game in reverse. Okay. So right here is where you're saying he had me. I think that's it. Let's see. He totally had you before he backed out the knight from e4. He just needed to queen check you on c6. and it falls apart from there. So c6, queen check, and I mean let's just say for example I move here, right? And then here you defend against that. And I move like here. And you can move your knight down. And I can't really do much except go here for defense. And then I get pushed into a mate. I think I see what you mean there. Yeah, it is completely lost from there. Maybe I'm not finding the exact idea that you're probably seeing, but I think it's something like the knight supporting the queen to get a mate. Even the bishop down here can help out a lot and preventing my king from being able to escape. So yeah, that was admittedly very dangerous ground I was treading there. Do you want to play unrated? Maybe in a future stream, actually. That could be fun to do. The purpose of these streams is specifically to get me to 1,000 plus elo, though. So I'll think about it in the future. I do want to play against people that, because these chess streams do bring in a consistent amount of viewers, and I hate turning down challenges. I do like playing, but I'm just not playing against viewers right now. So sorry to say, but I mean, if you want to tune into me in the future, I'll be trying to stream every Sunday from now on, chess streams. So maybe I'll open up challenges in a future stream. But right now, I'm just trying to get to 1,000. It depends on your exact moves, but yeah, the 3 pieces are enough. Of course, the engine can show you. I'm surprised you're not doing any engine analysis, let alone practice things you see yourself failing at, like the rook checkmate. I do like looking at the computer analysis, like this. Well, I played 10 team matches. What the hell? Okay, I guess that's something I did now. um, I like looking at this for the eval bar. Um, and I mean, I'm not like a subscribed member on chess.com, so I only get one free game review every day. Um, and maybe I should be practicing more of like failed mates and such, but I mean, I like learning the most from live games. That's not the best way for everybody, of course, but I think ingraining the lessons and trying to reflect on things myself. Like, I'll even go back and watch these games again later and turn them into like chopped up videos. And just rewatching my games helps to like have me spot ideas that I missed before, or like pieces that were hanging that I could have taken, or stuff like that. Um, so I think the self analysis is still good. Maybe there will be a time where I feel like I need to train more hardcore, but for the purpose of getting to 1,000 elo, I'm already pretty close. And the methods that I've had already have taken me from 400 to 915, and I think it's okay right now. But I do appreciate having um, a bunch of feedback from people that are watching too, and are more skilled at the game than I am. I appreciate this. Lichess has a great analysis board, by the way, because it automatically shows up to 5 best moves, and you get lots of free reviews per day. Yeah, yeah, I should just use Lichess more often. But again, I started on chess.com 2 years ago, so for the purpose of getting to 1,000 elo, I'm gonna keep up on chess.com. I should be using Lichess more in the future though. It just seems like such a better site in a few different ways. All right. Yo, how's chess going? Hey, Dia, another good friend of mine showing up in the streams. Hello. It's going all right. I got 3 stalemates in a row, and now I've got 2 wins under my belt. So it's been going on for 2 hours now, and I've had 5 games. I think I want to play one more game and see where I'm feeling after that. Um, 5 to 10 games in like 2 hours is roughly where I want to be on these streams. I don't want to go too far, but it feels like a nice training regimen in a way. So I'll do one more game. This might be the last one. We'll see. My opponent is yet to play a move, and it looks like their connection bar is a little a little in the grave. Not feeling the best on the start of this one. It's not even showing like a reconnecting. We're just sitting here. Okay. Okay. There we go. Auto. I guess we're doing one more game. There's a fun chess meme. Reception? This is room 263. I'd like a wake up call. Sir, your wake up call. Hitting new game without analyzing your game won't make you better. Potato Wi-Fi, Lamau. True. They did end up making their move, so I should just keep on with the game here. But maybe okay, it looks like whatever Wi-Fi issue or anything that was going on is fixed for now. So I'll keep playing against this this Ethiopian player. I always like seeing what parts of the world people are playing against me from. It's such a wide range of players. We got the advanced variation of the Caro-Kann. I like closing it up like this. We're gonna move a pawn up here to defend against this sort of idea. I'm surprised that it's not what they charged in for, but now I'm gonna move another pawn up here because this is still double defended, and we're gonna get this bishop up. If you take, that's fine. I'll take here and keep this pawn kind of like controlling the center more. Okay. Now I want to break up these pawns, but I should also... I think I'll move this knight first, just to leave the potential for castling open. But honestly, at this point, I'm fancying castling on the long side, the queen side. Still, I don't think it's a bad move to be moving my knight out and getting it more scope and defenders. Now, first I'm going to push this pawn up. Kind of strike at the center. Okay. We're going to move this other knight. Support the attacking idea that I got here even more. Yep, it's just becoming a full-on war now. You could take that and fork, but then I just win a bishop back. No, that really could have been dangerous. I think I'm glad that they didn't take there. That really could have been dangerous. Okay. If I start trading pieces now, we got pawn, bishop, bishop, pawn, or you have more attackers than I do. I'm going to move a knight up here because this queen idea was to defend here. And now I could take that bishop and still have defense against it. Okay. We're going to have to take the bishop. And then we take the queens. And then we stop this pawn from promoting. They are up 1 point of material just from a pawn that I could end up taking back pretty fast. This rook can't attack here as long as this knight's standing guard. And I could even castle now to get myself out of the center anyway. I mean, I guess you're trying to go for that knight, right? But I'll just castle, defend. We are trading so many pieces so fast. Oh, okay. I mean, now has to be the time where I take the pawn, right? And then you're probably going to take that pawn. I think that's the idea. Unless you really want this rook. You probably really want, yeah, you want the rook. So I still got this pawn, which is, I think, good. I'm going to check there. Just throw it out. Maybe I shouldn't have just thrown it out, but it does allow my knight to escape a little more cleanly. That's fine. I'll move the knight over here because even if you take, I got 2 pawns here. Okay. What's the plan? What's the plan? What is the plan? I gotta get this knight into the game before these 2 rooks outpace me with the pawns here. In fact, I should also be trying to set up the pawns to defend against this side, but right now, getting this knight over here is probably the best move. And then now we start moving those pawns up to push the position more. This is, I mean, I'm okay with that. Still a defended position overall. I'm going to start moving my king up. Into this side? Yeah. Okay. You're definitely moving this rook over to double up on this pawn attack. I'm just going to move this rook here. Oh. Ooh. Ooh, that's a spicy move. Okay, well, I mean, I'll just pull back then. Because as long as you're not doubling up, 1 knight here is still enough to defend that. Your best move probably was to just move this pawn up, not gonna lie. And now I get to block that idea completely. You could still do some damage. Yeah, you could still do some damage. But I want to move my pawn, my king up into the battlefield a bit more and see where this keeps moving. Okay, actually, that I don't know why you did that, because now I'm just completely holding on to that position. This pawn is mine, bro. You're not gonna take it away from me. I think you're trying to stall me out now. right? Like, what else would you be doing? Yeah, I kind of just have to go for something like this to keep these pawns alive, and none of these pawns are passing yet. This is a really tricky position, though. Like, incredibly tricky position. I'm not entirely sure what to be doing here. Maybe I offer rook trade at this point. This could be a mistake, but I feel like it's the best way to move forward. Because now if you move this pawn up, that's a take, and I still have this spot defended. Okay. Knight moves up here. This is risky because it's opening up this, but your rook's not going to be able to like cut me off yet. Huh. What do I do here? What is my end game plan, right? Is there any pawn that I can push up into a passed pawn? Is there any way that I can remove the rook from the equation? Oh. I answered my own question. All right, cool. So your rook's gone. All right, what now? Because your king's moving in here to try and... That's pretty dangerous. But I feel like I have to just move my knight back to defend against this. It feels like a necessary move at this point. Maybe even like going up here. My king's going to move this way now. And I'm going to start taking your pawns on this side. Is that the right move? Okay, let's think about this. Because if I move here, it's going to take me longer to take out these pawns and push up the other ones than it is for me to try and defend this position. Yeah, go here. Because if you move up, yeah, okay. I mean, I'm just gonna keep it there. Can I? Oh man, this actually sucks. This sucks. Okay. Okay, we're gonna move the king here. This is a really tough end game. This is a really tough end game. Okay. Okay. Just stay near the knight right now and take that out. Okay. Now that I've pushed ahead, maybe I could help this pawn get up now that I'm on this side of the board and you're not. I think that's the play. Because I could get over here and then start pushing this up. Okay, cool. You are threatening that. We're going to move down here. Just completely cut off the king. And now my mission is to get down there and checkmate you. with king and queen. Is there like a good... Not yet. Like, can I fork between these two pieces here? Maybe not, but I can get a second queen before you're able to even promote that, which then neutralizes the threat of you promoting in the first place. Yeah, and then I'm just completely winning at this point. I can definitely win this. There's no way I don't win this endgame. I mean, there is a way to stalemate. I'm not going to let it come to that. We're just going to go here. Oh! No! I thought you could move up there. Oh, no. No, I just needed to move 1 up. I didn't need to move 2 up. I just needed to move 1 up. I was going for a ladder mate. I didn't need to move 2 up. I totally could have won with a ladder mate. And then you go here and I win. Or you go here and I win. I had 2 minutes to think on that, and I just completely gunned it. Because I was like, okay, no, if I want to set up a ladder mate, I just don't need to. I can't be delivering check all the time, so I'll go here, and then that's a draw. I'm annoyed. It's annoying. Okay. God. I was thinking of like a king and queen end game, which is what I was going for initially. Where like at some point, in order to box them in, you have to like make sure you don't deliver check, so that the king keeps boxing in. But this was a queen and queen end game, and I can totally get away with a check. And I flubbed up there. That is completely my bad. F. Welcome to 900. Had a rook fork. Missed a knight fork against 2 rooks around move 31. Wait a minute. I gotta see this. Missed a knight fork against 2 rooks around move 31. Let's see this. Oh, you can import chess.com game too. That is fun to know. Okay, I'm actually going to look into that. Thank you so much, Marcus. You've been a really helpful. You this week and then like Popo last week. I've just been having consistently helpful voices in these streams. Thank you guys for showing up and giving me advice on these games. To be honest, the knight fork probably doesn't work because he can get out it with a check. I'm trying to see. Around move 31. Knight fork. Oh, like here. That's what you're talking about, right? Yeah, where I fork. But then, yes, you can get out of it with the check here. And then I move, and then you take the pawn. Yeah, and then I don't have a fork anymore. I mean, from this position, I could start, like, taking out a pawn there, which can help me, like, push up more, but at that point, I don't feel as great about having the 2 rooks pushing into my position like this, because then that creates like bullying tactics like this. Actually, that wouldn't have. I mean, you could take the pawn back like that, although you'd want to move your Well, I don't know. Maybe there's still hope for me here. I don't think it's the worst thing ever, but yeah, maybe that 4 could have been worth it. This was a tragic match. That's all I'm saying. I should have won. I should have won. I'm upset that I didn't win. Of course, it assumes he sees the check, but yeah, of course, of course. Just randomly saw you thanks to YouTube algorithm. How long ago did you start this quest? Literally last week I started streaming it. Um, why did you give up the rook for the knight for some or something earlier? I'll. I think that was not great. Also, if I remember correctly, I'll look back at that in a moment. I'm going to this question first. How long ago did you start this quest? Um, I mean, honestly, uh, the moment that I saw myself get over 1,000 on the daily rating, so that was like what, right here. So earlier this month, just a few weeks ago, I realized that I could make it over 1,000. But the thing with daily games is that so many of my wins here are from people timing out, um, or just straight up not making the first move. Um, Daily games are a bit more hit and miss with how active your opponent can be. I mean, I have plenty of daily games here that also helps like bump up the ELO rating over time. Playing in like the daily tournaments that chess.com hosts. Um, and I think that the daily format just lends itself more to people forgetting whatever their long term plans are. You do have the option um, to make notes here, like say, haha, I can totally checkmate this dude with the following plan. And there's also conditional moves you can set up, which is nice. Where like if this happens, then you do that. Um, oh, it's not my turn though, so I can't set those up. But I wanted to start streaming more, and just doing more with my channel again. Uh, and it felt like chess streaming and doing these matches felt like a good way to do it, especially with all the feedback I've been getting from people. It's nice. I was worried that there would be a lot of people heckling me about the right moves to make and whatnot. And there was one dude last stream who was a little annoying, but honestly, it hasn't been that bad so far. So I'm feeling pretty good about keeping these up. Um, on that note, I think I'm going to stop the stream here. I will read through some final comments that you guys are sending in, but I've been doing this for 2.5 hours now, and it feels like a good place to kind of cut it. If you want content, solving puzzles also could work, and it's great for your learning. Yes, I agree. I was doing a lot of puzzles to start out. I haven't been doing puzzles as much lately, but if I go into my stats here, and we look at like all time, I have played more puzzles than actual games. And my puzzle rating, if we look at that over time, the how do I where do I I know there's a way to look at your puzzle stats over time. I can't see it, but puzzles definitely helped me a lot when I was learning earlier, uh, like around this 2024 era. So I'd agree on that. Maybe it's a good way to make like a chill warm up. Yeah, like you're saying here, warm up before a game too. That's a good idea. I could incorporate that. Anyway, if you liked watching, make sure to follow and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back at this next Sunday as well, and as many Sundays in a row as I can. I'm feeling very dedicated to this. It's a fun way to get back into streaming. I might also do like a Saturday stream every now and again with a different game if you guys are interested in that. But I mean, I assume most people here are here for the chess, and I'm glad to cater to that too. Hope you all have a nice evening or rest of your day, and see you next time.